Mr. Magic.
Yes, sir.
We usually kick off our interviews with a 2 claps and a Ric Flair, but since you are the GOAT MC Magic, can we do 2 claps and a zzz?
Let's do it.
All right,
Let's
all right,
do it. I
everybody.
like it.
We got 12-year-old Anthony. This is happening. All right, here we go. 2 claps and a zzz. 3, 2, 1. Zzz. Yes.
Welcome to the Dana Cortez Show. Awesome. Magic, I've known you for years and years. Thank you for taking the time to come and talk to all of us.
Yes, thank you. We know you're a busy man.
I know you are busy, and that's kind of where I wanted to go from jump. Like, you've been able to travel and do new music and maintain this huge fan base for years and years.
For decades at this point.
Decades. How have you managed to do that?
A lot of work. That's one thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is that it takes a lot of work to get a good paycheck. You feel me? And
I'm tired.
I know that.
I'm tired right now.
Yeah, and so that's what it's been. It's been a lot of work and loving what I do. I love this music. I love these love songs. You know, music changes, but you got to stay true to who you are, and that's what I love.
And I think that's why people continue to follow you. Not many people are able to make new music. You kind of have to live off the stuff, and there's nothing wrong with it. I love the older stuff. I love that you still perform your classics as well, but you're making new music, and not many artists are able to do that and continue reinventing themselves. Every time I go to a show, we were just hosting one, it's young people, people in the middle, older, you got them all ages.
When I started, my average fan was 14, and today my average fan is about 16.
I was going to say that
wild.
I was talking to this kid yesterday, and I told him that you're coming in today, and he was introduced to your music through his parents, but he's literally my favorite rapper. He's my favorite musician. And I was like, man, this guy's 19 years old, and he's literally younger than you've been doing your music for.
That's such a compliment. I take that with a lot of love, and I just chalk it up to you being real to who I am, from MBK to MB Riders to Magic City. That's real. That's exactly what it is.
Is that what you're crediting it to, Magic? Is you just being authentically you? Because one thing that's impressive to me about your career is that we mentioned over 20 years in the business, but there's been so many changes to the music business, right?
Yeah.
You were one of very few artists, in my opinion, who've been able to absorb the social media impact with your career.
A lot of people were
take it with you to another level.
Well, you've been going live for over 10 years.
No, I think I started going live maybe on. Yeah, you're right.
It has been.
Wow. Because I remember when you were doing
He's
it,
like,
when you first started
damn.
doing it, I was like,
Well, there was that little.
that's a good idea.
There was a little app called a live stream, and I think we did a live stream.
We did an interview together.
Yes, that has been that many years. But my fans told me, "Why don't you go live?" And I'm like, "What does that mean?"
Okay, I'll do it.
So
You're like,
a lot of
I'll do
times,
it.
is it your fans making these suggestions?
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Matter
to
of
hear.
fact, I'm gonna take you guys back. I didn't like Facebook because MySpace was so good to me. Like my music player had like 100 million plays already.
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
and of course,
Glad you weren't getting paid for it back then.
and
right?
I'm like, exactly.
Come on, Tom.
So I'm like, I don't want to go to Facebook. I got to start all over. And a fan of mine started my page. She goes, I know you don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it for you. And now my Facebook is like a 1.4 million. She started it.
Thank goodness for her.
Yeah.
And thank goodness for the fans forcing change, because that's one thing I can promise you. Whether you're doing this kind of work or any work, change is inevitable. You better move with it.
I got to give her a shout out now that I said that.
You better.
Yaritza, I love you. I call her Yarichula. I met her at one of my concerts, and to this day, if I say Yaritza, she went to graphic design school, I say, I need a quick flyer. She'll get it done in like 2 hours. She's still a number one.
We
love right there.
talked about your fans and having, you get a lot of love. Does it scare you to speak from your heart when it comes to politics, the state of immigration? I know, naciste de Mexico, you're born in Mexico. Does it frighten you that you'll turn off some people? Because I know you're very passionate
Amen.
about your views and you do not hide it. But do sometimes people tell you, hey, dude, step back. That's not your world. And how do you maintain your integrity without hurting feelings, or do you not care?
You can't please everybody all the time. And if they flee, they were never real fans anyway. Okay? If my personal views are hurting your feelings, then we're on the opposite sides of the fence. So why are we even riding together?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And I think there's a lot of injustice in politics. There's a lot of injustice in the criminal system. There's a lot of injustice in the courts, and just in general, how like President Trump goes on forgiving all these racist white men, just pardoning them.
I just said that
for no reason, just pardons them. He came and like Sheriff Joe was incriminated here in town for racial discrimination
in Phoenix, Arizona.
In Phoenix, and Trump came to town and says, "Let me pardon that guy." He's one of them. So he's really, by his actions, telling us, you're not white, you're not elite, you're not with us, and you're going to follow by our rules.
Some people will say, well, look what he's done for, Alice Johnson. He's freed some people. But I understand what you're saying. That's almost done to appease. Well, look what he did. Just shut up. You should just be satisfied with this.
Alice Johnson is a cupcake in a bakery.
I agree, and I'm so glad she's free. I stand with her. I'm glad.
And
but there's a lot more people that need to be looked at. Cases. There's black and brown men and women behind bars that don't deserve that.
Not only this, let me tell you that the Mexican population has been assassination of character.
Demonized.
By himself, he has assassinated the character of any Mexican simply by the amount of negative media that he has sent towards our people. I don't like that. And Jesus Christ died because he was truthful. I'm going to be truthful.
I like that you're not afraid to take a stand.
You're a motivational figure amongst a lot of Mexican Americans in this country. And while we're on the topic, what advice do you have to any young Mexican Americans looking to progress in Trump's America?
You're the dream. You came here. Your parents immigrated here. You were born in Mexico. You're the dream. You made it. What's that advice?
The advice is this, guys. The number one thing that hurts us, our people, is partying. People think, yo, let me just get high once and then become addicted to getting high and forget about their career. You know what I'm saying? And so your mom tells you, no andes haciendo esas tonterías, cabrón. You know what she means when she says, no,
don't be doing that stupid stuff.
Don't be doing that stupid stuff. And it is stupid. I have personal family members that have ruined their entire life because they wanted to go get drunk once. I've never been drunk or high in my life. So first of all, life is a marathon. And that's one of the first hurdles is partying and getting drunk and, doing all that stuff. If you can get over that hurdle, a lot of people don't get over that hurdle because a lot of people work 40 hours for one reason, so they can party Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
You throw it all away and you broke again on Monday.
And restart the cycle, repeat and rinse and repeat, right? And so that's one of the main things that I want to tell young people. Don't fall victim to the things that got your uncle locked up, to the things that got your mom and dad broke up, to the alcohol problems that really
have plagued our communities.
Exactly.
It's like a plague, but
I think that's every community.
That is it, but it's not every community because you go to the wealthy communities, you don't see liquor stores on the corner. You go to the barrios. And people that live in certain areas of the community.
You can't get a 40-ounce downtown Scottsdale.
But you can. In the barrio, you can in certain communities that are impoverished. So those are what you say, the politics, the laws, and why are they allowed there and not in other
This is for ourselves, for yourself.
It's got to come from from
another
the ground
area
up.
where a lot of that, what your theory comes to play to, is coping. A lot of young Latinos and Mexican Americans use these substances to cope with.
I don't like excuses, bro.
I'm with you, and I do understand that, but it also is that you become what you're shown. We can say anything to our kids, but if we aren't doing it, unfortunately, you have to lead by example. It's up to parents.
Yeah.
And I don't like the excuses, but unfortunately, if you are, I was a very young mom. I made a lot of stupid decisions when I was young. At 15, what do you know? Not a lot. And unfortunately, I showed my oldest daughter some stupid things, and she made some stupid mistakes because that's what I showed her.
Yeah.
And so you have to lead by example and live that life.
My kids will tell you the same thing that I'm saying. My kids, I have a 21, 23, and a 32. They'll tell you the same thing.
That you
because
have always
I raised them by example. I said, do as I do. Do as I do.
Instead of do as I say.
Right. And most people say, do as I say.
I love that
which
advice.
is hypocritical.
Well, it is, because you can't live a certain way and expect your children to do something different. They're going to see, but you're showing me.
Hey, haven't we said that action speaks louder than words? Is it true or not?
It's true.
It is true.
It's absolutely true. So, are you somebody who goes out and votes? Are you in your
Absolutely.
okay, so you do, because some people will say, "Well, I'll preach, but I'm not going to vote."
No. I have to go out and vote. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be a U.S. citizen if it wasn't for voting.
What okay,
And let me
explain.
explain that to you. All my life, I've been a hustler. All my life I've been able to plant seeds, grow trees, and make money. And I don't mean marijuana. I'm talking about plant seeds of hard work. I'm talking about things that actually
Fruits
become
for your
fruitful.
family.
Songs that become legendary songs. Plant the seed and it becomes a tree. So all my life, and so I've never had to apply for jobs. So I really never needed to be a U.S. citizen.
Oh, I see. You're right. You were born in Mexico.
Right.
We're coming all the way back
Yeah,
full circle.
the
to
only reason you need to be a
beginning of the
U.S. citizen so you can get a job. I've never been a job type of guy. I've been the type of guy that'll hustle, make it happen, turn scratch into skrill. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you got jobs, but you work for yourself.
Yeah, I made my jobs.
Yeah.
So nobody said, let me see your documentation before you get your paycheck, buddy. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. And so all my life I was making it, and I think I was already 35 years old, something like that. And I was at a rally encouraging people to whatever, because one of my political friends invited me, and she's like, make sure that you get your vote. And I'm like, I can't vote, Mari. And she's like, why? I go, because I'm not a U.S. citizen. She goes, what? MC Magic is not a U.S. citizen? And I'm like, no. She goes, we're going to get that taken care of. She did all the paperwork for me.
Wow.
Mari,
How much did it
congressman,
end up costing you though?
about $1,000.
Okay.
Back then it wasn't as hard as it is today. The line wasn't as long. I don't know. Maybe Mari had some magical connection, but Mari at Congressman Ed Pastor's office, she said, I'm going to take care of it for you. You just got to pay the fees and show up when you got to show up. I went to my situation and became a U.S. citizen, but I thought I didn't need it because I didn't need it.
But you do need it.
But I do need. I'm a U.S. citizen now. I'm proud.
Well, for all the U.S. citizens, you don't got to go through nothing. Y'all better register and vote.
Absolutely, you guys got to vote.
Especially
Make
this
a
time
difference.
around.
Even though I truly believe, even if you vote, I truly believe it's still fudged. There's still, what are you calling fixing and
They manipulate.
They
like, the vote.
manipulate.
But here's another thing. You just said it's got to be us, right? Our communities. Our communities don't come out in droves to vote. You know why these politicians listen to the guys with money? Because they're controlling their job. If we come out in droves to vote, then we're in control. But we don't. We don't do that. So once the person with the most votes controls the situation, controls the politician.
the Latino vote is strong, and it was strongest, I think, when Obama came in office.
Yes, it was.
And then we lost faith in the system, which is easy to do because the system is broken and the system is a lie.
It's up to us to fix it.
You know what I'm saying?
We got to get more people from the ground up in those positions of power.
Yeah, and there's people in the system that can't stand it, like Meghan Markle and her deal. That obviously that's the UK, but they's like, we don't want to be part of this trash no more. We don't want to be part of it no more.
You got to walk away.
Yeah, and they're billionaires.
God, I would never walk away from that.
That's what you think.
True, I guess
That's
you're
what you
right.
think. You don't get judged daily. And Meghan being
African
American, or at least half, being half African American, she was judged daily at breakfast, at lunch,
Just
at dinner.
for the color of her
Yeah,
skin.
yeah, exactly.
wild.
And I tell my manager, he's black. I tell my manager, Big D's been my manager for 16 years now. I tell him everyone's racist. I says everyone is racist because if you weren't racist, you wouldn't be proud of who you are. So just a simple fact that you're proud of who you are means that you think a little less of some of the other races. And I think everyone is a little racist, even if it's not big, loud, blatant. I think everyone is
Or
a little
angry
racist.
and dangerous.
And this is the example that I use. I tell them every time we watch a boxing match and there's a Latino and a black, he goes for the black, I go for the Latino, and it never changes. It never changes. And
Is
he
it
laughs.
okay
It's almost
to-
like it's built into you, right?
Well,
It's built in. It's human nature.
I think what he's saying is right. It is human nature. But as long as you're not trying to belittle another race and call someone an animal or my race is superior, it's different. There are people who want to hurt people
Maybe that's
just for
why
the
I'm
color of their
confused.
skin.
Because I grew up around all Hispanics, and I'll find myself in like a situation like that, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna root for the Mexican dude because that's what I'm used to."
'Cause that's what
I've
you
been
grew
my-
up
my
with?
whole-
So you're
my
like
whole life.
Miklo. You like Miklo. Yeah.
I don't know like that, but yeah.
You know Miklo is, right?
Yeah, of course, yes.
Blood in, blood out.
Because in his thread, he was Chicano. He was a Mexican. He was Chicano.
'Cause that's what he grew up
He was
around.
one of the essays, not one of the gringos, but he looked like a gringo.
That's crazy.
You're basically an essay automatic.
Yeah.
If he says I am, I guess I am.
If MC Magic calls you an essay, you're an essay, bro.
That's
Remember
it.
that.
You should wear a sweatshirt that says I'm an essay.
Yeah.
You
MC
get
Magic
a.
said so.
You invited to the matanza. You've been invited
Speaking
for a
of
minute.
things we're being invited to, Super Show.
Man,
Hello. Things we
how
love
big
coming
is
to.
this? Because I keep hearing Dana. It is wild.
Last year there was 30,000 people. in
What?
the
Damn.
show.
My
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
What's your
30,000
favorite part?
people.
Obviously, you perform. Obviously, the performances are incredible. You love the crowd, but like just the show itself. What's your favorite part of attending?
My favorite part is it's still run by brown people.
I like
Talk
that.
about
I
it.
Because it's
thought we were gonna get
Lowrider
selling all that
Magazine.
merch, but
Yeah.
Lowrider
Yeah.
Magazine.
Yeah, my homies over there working hard at the Arizona Super Show, DJ Mad Rich, and everybody just works so hard, and it's still our people's holiday. It's our people's holiday. And here's another thing. I'm real proud to be Chicano. Even though I was born in Mexico, I connect more with the Chicano culture
Well,
because
you were little. How old were you when you came here?
5.
Yeah, so I mean,
like 5, and because I was really like I'm Mexican, and I went to Mexico and they treated me like I was a gringo, and they even called me a gringo, and I'm like, really, I'm really a Chicano. I'm really a
are.
Chicano because and a lot of people don't like to be called Chicano, but that's my favorite term because it classifies a certain audience, a certain culture, a certain music, a certain style of living, and I think Chicano culture is a beautiful
well,
culture.
some of Mexicanos, but we're here in America, and there's just a different way
Mm-hmm.
that we absorb things. Music, our culture is different. Our food is a little bit different.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I
No,
love
and the
it. It's a
Lowrider
beautiful
Super
thing.
Show is a Chicano holiday.
It's a Chicano holiday.
Yes.
Man, all right. So, biggest song.
That's why I'm so proud to be a part of that. I've been a part of the Super Show since like 1995.
And it's
6.
been rolling that hard since
every
then.
year.
every year.
Damn.
I mean, there have been a few years where they didn't book me to perform, but
You're a part of it.
Yeah, still a part of it. Yeah.
What's the biggest song when you perform by far in almost every city? What's the biggest reaction you get from people?
Lost in Love. Lost in Love is amazing. But the thing is that I'm glad that I'm not a one-hit wonder. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Because there's some people say Lost in Love, others say Pretty Girl, others say So Fly. Girl, I love you more than anything.
You wanna show
This
us a little bit
whole
of that?
world. Oh, the keyboard's not set up, Dana.
No, it's gonna take you. You're gonna have to get at the Super Show.
Yeah, we have to edit that in if you want.
Yeah, I would not do all
I got a
that.
question about your performance. I've been fortunate enough to see you perform a few times, and you are amazing when it comes to distributing roses to your female audience.
Thank you.
Now, I've seen some artists who weren't as smooth as you. Do you have any tips for those artists when it comes to passing out roses to your fan base?
Yeah, just let Magic do that.
How do you deal with the super fans? Because I know you got some girls that are
Dude.
crazy about you.
Yeah, but it's all love. Everybody, all my fans know that I'm married. All my fans, you see my wife here and there with me.
Kiki's all, with you all the
Kiki's
time.
a shy girl. She does not want to be seen. When fans ask her to take a picture with us, she's like, she gets nervous. She doesn't. She's the opposite of me.
Right.
And I think that's why we're so perfect together.
How long you been married now?
This year will be our 25th year.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations.
Mhm. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming in. Do you remember the first time you met Anthony? It was his first night on the air?
I
And you
do.
stepped in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Albuquerque.
Albuquerque, New Mexico, first
Yeah,
time
we had a good
ever.
time, too.
It was a great time. Well, you ran my whole show. You literally did more row.
He was so lucky you were there
Wait,
because he didn't know
hold
what
on.
he was doing.
Hold on, time out. We can't let him off the hook though, because you always put this pressure on automatic. You said your 25th anniversary is coming up.
Amen.
What do you have planned?
You know what? We plan to go back to Rome and to renew our vows at the Vatican.
You got married in Rome?
No.
no.
We've been traveling
Okay.
to different places, and she wanted to go do the renewal of the vows. But when you go to some place like that, a church, whether it's in Jerusalem or in Rome, you have to bring your own priest.
Wow.
Yeah, to do that kind of stuff, because the ones that are there, they've already got their schedule filled
They're
up.
busy.
And so fortunately, we have priests that are friends of ours, and Kiki's been trying to book, the right time.
Yeah.
Trying to get someone that's going to travel with us and go and remarry us there. We might just end up redoing it here.
Pay
but-
attention.
Yeah, Otto, take these notes automatic.
I can't get a date night.
don't got
and
MC
you taking your wife
Magic
to
money, I'm
Vatican. No, I can't get a date night. And he's taking his wife to the Vatican to renew vows.
Listen, Otto, it comes with time. We've been married
Oh,
25 years, but I haven't been the best husband always. So
Do you do date nights?
we're together every day.
See, that's what I always tell her. We're literally together all the time.
We're
We travel
together
together all the time. We're always together. I was like, we're on a date all the time.
Yeah.
right.
Matter of fact, if you guys have one meal together a day, you're already on a date.
Okay.
Is over.
Even if you're cooking.
So the super shows.
No, it can't be over, Dana. I mean, like say for example, I'm gonna be completely honest. I had to work on Valentine's Day, and I just didn't get around to ordering roses for Kiki. I was like, I'll get to it later. I think I took her out and bought her some clothes and some shoes, but I didn't get her roses. I'll end up bringing her roses today. Well,
Just because.
Just because, yeah. But I'm that type of person that I'll be romantic any day of the year. Like on Christmas, we don't exchange gifts anymore.
Really?
We don't exchange gifts anymore because
We don't either.
We
I
don't
want
either.
I want my kids to know that it's not
Same.
about that.
Right.
That's what
You know?
we love each other
Yeah.
regardless. It's
and
not what we
and
can buy for
family,
each
we're
other.
healthy.
Yeah.
We got to root. And that sounds real cliche, but it's true. Like I grew up very humble, and so like I was so emotional. We have a house. We've got, it's simple things that make me
Yes.
happy. It's not these big extravagant. I used to think that though when I first started and I sold a house and I made a little money, I would spend it on stupid things, and it still wouldn't make me happy. I had to come to the realization that's
You got to be
not-
happy with yourself.
Yeah, that's not where happiness comes from. It comes from right here.
Yeah. Even a nice house is real dope, though. A nice house is
I
real
heard you
dope.
got a nice new house.
We actually did. We just bought a new house, and we've been waiting a long time. Because in the crash of 08, wherever it was,
Yeah.
08,
Yeah,
07,
08, yeah.
I think we ended up crashing about 10. So because we tried to ride it out for so long, and I had one of those fluctuating situations.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
So my house payment kept going up and kept going up and kept going up and kept going up. Finally, when we reached about $5,800 a month, I was like, you know what?
Time to let this thing go.
Yeah. I didn't lose it. I did a short sale on it.
That's
Yeah.
what we did too.
And then we got out of it, and then so we just waited. And my mentality was, I don't trust the finance industry anymore. And I said, my next house, I'm going to buy it cash. And so that's what I started doing, working hard on just
What a
building
blessing.
up.
What a blessing. Congratulations. Thank you for taking the time to come in.
God bless you too, Dana. I'm proud of you and everything you've
Thank you so
done.
much.
I
I
wish
appreciate
you the
that.
best. I knew Dana when she was a thick girl.
did.
Yeah, and that was a
And so
long
did
time.
I.
A lot
And
of
people don't realize that. Yeah.
That's really what he's congratulating her on right now is mainly the weight loss, and everything else is just.
Oh, you guys are doing amazing. I'm proud of you. And, I participate in your online polls every once in a while
Yes.
when I'm there. And I let people know, si no te gusta, a la madre. You know what I'm saying?
That's the more of the story. MC Magic, Dana Cortez Show. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love you, baby.